Alright guys, so today we're going to be putting the inner springs and polylocks on my 351 Windsor. That's in that. The reason we're doing this is because I just did a cam break-in on the motor, and when you do that, you don't want to have the inner spring, so you can have minimal pressure on that cam lobe so you don't wipe it. Polylocks are just because. Alright, so we got our valve spring compressor mounted up here. All it does is it screws on to the stud, then it allows you to use this lever, press down on the valve spring. Now what's happening right now is there's no pressure holding the valve in. So what we needed to do is blow some air in the spark plug hole to help seal up the cylinder, hold that valve in so we can actually press down the spring and they'll separate so we can get these keepers out. Now what I'll also do is, since this engine's already ran a little bit, these keepers are going to be really stuck in here. So they're going to be really hard to get out, even with putting air in the cylinder, holding that valve up. So what I'll do is I'll take a socket, put it over top on the retainer, and hit it a couple times with a hammer to try and separate the keepers. Sometimes you really just gotta slam. There we go. And just like that. Now what I've done, so our valve doesn't fall into the engine, is I brought the cylinder to where it's at top dead center. Also, this valve keeper is doing a good job of holding it up, so I'm not too worried about it. And to put this inner spring back in, you just gotta shove them together. Kind of got to pry on them a little bit. All right, so I got our inner spring back in. So now we're going to do the same thing, but in reverse order. So now what's going to happen when I press down on this is it's going to want to take that spring and push it that way. So it's going to be really hard to get the keeper here on the right hand side. So what I've done is I've taken this compressor here and I've ground out a little spot right here. You can see it for my screwdriver to go in, so I can pry on the spring to get it to where I can get that keeper, and I'll try to show it as best as I can here. There we go. What a pain in the butt. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the rockers back on and adjust for lash. To do that, according to the instructions, you can adjust the intake valve, which is this one, because it lines up with the intake runner. You can see that. Exhaust, because it lines up with the exhaust runner. According to comp, you can adjust the intake lash when the exhaust valve begins to move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank the engine over until I see this push rod start to come up. And then instead of a locking nut, we're going to be going with a polylock. I won't have to stress about it as much. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tighten this down until there's no more vertical movement in the push rod. All right, which is about right there. And then you're going to set preload, and according to comp, that is 1/2 turn after you've reached that no play in the push rod, no vertical movement, I should say. So we're going to go 1/2 turn, and then before I get all the way to a 1/2 turn, I'm going to tighten this lock down. And then I'm going to try and tighten both of these at the same time and get a good lock. Yep, right there. There you go. And you'll still have a little bit of play side to side. It's because this lifter isn't pumped up. Should be good. And now we're going to do the same thing on the exhaust valve. And when you do the exhaust valve, you're going to turn the engine over until the intake valve reaches maximum lift and then is almost all the way back down. Here we go, about right there. Now that we know that the exhaust side lifter is on the base circle of the can, we can put our rocker back on and adjust for lash. Now again, just tighten this down until there's no more vertical play in the push rod. Which is about right there. Now you're at 0 lash, you can adjust for preload, which is that 1/2 turn. Kind of turn there. I didn't like the way that one went, so we're going to redo that. Oh no. Yep. There we go. Now we got these to do. So I went straight to the back here because the back sucks. Front's easier. I want to get that out of the way. And I was taking that back one off, and I dropped the keeper right down the oil galley hole. Right there. Right into the engine. Might be able to see it better up here. Right there. Fits perfectly. So I gotta go find that. That's good. It's going great. I unfortunately had to drop the pan, but I got it. Earplug. Alright, so I got our inner spring in, Polylocks on. Should be ready to fire this thing up. Just need to get our valve cover back on, spark plugs in. Distributor cocked and ready to go. And should be, our battery's probably dead. But alright, got everything hooked up. Fuel pump, gauges, timing set. I have the vacuum advanced unplugged right now. I'm gonna set it at 12 degrees initial, and then it should be 24 degrees at 3000 RPM. Choke wired up this time. Fuel pump's going. Everything's ran. We should be good. And I do have oil in it. I don't know if that works. Don't know what that was. I think what happened was our throttle was holding us open. So we're gonna try it again. So we're gonna try it again with the throttle linkage unhooked. No leaks. work pretty good. Pedal still goes to the floor. Unfortunately, I need to bleed the brakes more, I guess. Oh yeah, that doesn't work. Let's see what our time is at, I guess, real quick. I don't know if you guys can see that. We're a little advanced, I think. Put you up on the camera here. I don't know why our tach's not. advance if I can get to it. Where are you? You're hot. Oh. I don't think our temp gauge is working. Better shut her off. There we go. Didn't want to shut off. I didn't know how hot we were, so shut her off. I don't know if our temp gauge is working. I'm gonna get a meat thermometer. We're looking at 170, not bad at all. 170, all right. Well, I guess that answers my question of if this odometer gauge will read off of that cold case cinder unit. I guess not. Oh well, we're not hot, so that's all that matters. Start her back up. Oh, fans are working, I guess. Vacuum the fans in while we had it off. Okay. About 170. Let's see if we're charging. About 14.5, so we're charging good. I don't know what just happened. It was off camera, but I went to shut off the motor by unplugging this. Pulled the negative, motor didn't turn off. Pulled the positive, motor didn't turn off. Unplugged the lead going to the distributor, and it went off. Scary. We're gonna start it back up. weird it out. Might just call it here. Oh well, at this point, we know it's a good running motor. No issues as far as I can see. 55 pounds of oil pressure, I couldn't be happier with that. Doesn't look like we're overheating. I need to get a temp gauge figured out. The vacuum gauge was reading good. I was kind of messing around with the idle system, but I don't know, I need to mess with it some more to get it in good shape. Transmission wasn't over. Oh, what is that? Is that oil? Oh my gosh. No. Yeah, that's oil. Oops. Where's it coming from? What the heck? Can you guys see any? What is going on? It's coming from the frame rail. It's brake fluid. That's why our brake's going all the way to the floor. Nice. Oh well. But we're not leaking oil. Can you believe that? When I dropped the pan, I just threw the old gasket right back up there, and it was holding on by a thread, I'll tell you what. Did not think that was gonna hold. Alright, so as I was saying, thank God that it wasn't oil. I think we're gonna call it here. Thanks if you watched. Can't think of anything else to say. I know there is, but hopefully in the next video we're driving this thing. Need to figure out the transmission. I'm going to try and hot wire it. Since it's an E4OD, it's electronically controlled, so the computer needs inputs from the engine to control the transmission. I think from reading forums that the only inputs it needs is engine speed, throttle position sensor, which I have a throttle position sensor, and vehicle speed, which that's cable driven. Should get that from the cluster maybe, I'm not for sure. And then obviously just, you know, over here. And maybe I won't have to hot wire it every time. We can control it from the inside. And then brakes, I gotta take care of those. I got the fronts re-ran. Those turned out good. But I wish I could have taken the transmission through all of its gears though. I was really hoping to do that. Because of the transmission fluid, when I rebuilt the engine, I drained the transmission fluid and replaced that. And when I did the cam break-in on this, the transmission was overflowing because I overfilled it. Because I didn't drain the converter, obviously that holds fluid. Didn't realize that. So that was still full when I filled it. I put the total amount of fluid that called for in. So it was overfilled and it was overflowing. I pumped some out today. I need to get it running, get it on level ground so I can check it. Oh well, I'm gonna be happier with it. No big issues that I can think of. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, do that. And hopefully I see you guys on the next one. Thank you.